coat of arms.
We've got the Crusader Arms partnership with Spectre, and we've got the Crusader 9 in our hands today. So with any new gun that we get in our hands, we really like to take the opportunity to put a lot of rounds through it to kind of see how it functions, how it cycles, are there any stoppages or any concerns. So when you get it in your hands in the field, then you guys have kind of seen firsthand what to expect. And right now we're going to try to put about 2,000 rounds through this gun. We've got about 300 through it. I had 200 before I came. We're working up to about 100 rounds on it now. We're just having some fun, man. We put a lot of rounds through in a short amount of time, getting this thing real hot, keeping it lubed, and let's see where we have enough stoppages to say, hey, this is kind of the point where you need to start cleaning it. So we're testing a bunch of different mags. We've got Glock Mag and Magpul right now, and so far both of them are working fine. We are here with Steve from Spectre Limited, and Steve invited us out and said, hey, I've got 2,000 rounds, let's run them through this gun and see how they hold up. Steve, what are some of the challenges? You're working with Crusader Arms,
yep.
And the gun with the Crusader 9, it's kind of working off of a 180 action, but
yep.
Converted to blowback and 9mm.
That's right. So to keep with Canadian law, you know, we have to make a 180B style rifle because we can't have certain types of rifle platforms. So the challenge is to make a blowback upper receiver that fits the AR-180B lower receiver. So that's what we've done. So one of the biggest issues with blowback guns is trying to weight the springs and bolts and make sure that the spring rate and the bolt is weighted properly, because there's a few other guns out there on the market that have tried this and have had, you know, limited success, and I think mostly because not enough time was spent out here shooting, doing the R&D, and making sure that the gun's going to cycle properly.
You're bringing a really expensive trigger right out of the gate. What was the decision behind that?
So with our other products in the past, a lot of complaints have been that the trigger isn't a high quality trigger, and it isn't. It's a mil-spec trigger. People in the sporting world have come to expect crisp triggers because they're shooting competitions. This rifle is primarily going to be a competition sport shooting rifle. So we thought instead of having the consumer have to swap out their trigger, we'll just go directly to the source. And we decided to go with a Canadian manufacturer, Trigger Tech Trigger, which in my opinion is one of the best on the market. And we decided to put that in the gun right off the bat.
What are some of the advantages that customers should consider when buying a Canadian made gun?
Well, it's locally sourced. I mean, everybody talks about that, you know, the economy, but we are employing local people. Everything's made here. There's nothing in that gun that isn't made here in North America. we're employing people all over the country to make sure that this gun makes it to market, and we don't have supply chain issues.
Should people be expecting these things like on the shelves regularly?
Yeah, the goal right now is to produce 100 a month, and that's the goal. If they're popular, we'll increase production.
And in terms of a magazine, what kind of magazines will this take?
It takes Glock style mags. The gun will come with a Glock mag, a branded Glock mag, but we've tested P mags, Magpul P mags as well. Those are the only mags we're going to say out of the gate work for sure, because those are the only ones we're testing. They're the most popular. If someone wants to try a different mag, by all means, give her a go.
And this particular charging handle, is it ambi, and how will it go from one side to the other?
Yeah, so it's an ambidextrous charging handle. You just undo one screw in the handle and then pull the rod out the front, push the rod back in the other side, and put the screw back in. How's it going?
What's up?
Come on in.
So this is where all the magic happens, from scratch. How do these guns start? Like, where does it start from?
Well, this machine right here is the machine that makes our lower receiver. So they start with a block of 6061 aluminum like this. They get turned into a lower receiver like this. And that all happens right here on this machine. Okay, so this is where the upper receivers are. We also make hand guards on this machine right here. This machine here, that's a upper receiver set up on the machine right here, getting ready to be cut.
How often is the machine shop running?
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We don't stop. So this is 100% complete upper receiver. Monolithic upper receiver, one solid piece of 6061 aluminum. So lowers that get machined here, they flow this way. Where they kind of be, like, they get inspected for quality control, right? And then here is where they get lasered. This is all where the laser engraving happens. The serial number gets put on, logos get put on, stuff like that happens. This area here is our main assembly area where we assemble all the firearms. Here we have a few ready to be put together. So this is kind of how the rifle started its original concept. This is an AR-180B that was manufactured by Armalite. So this is the original rifle. So we take something like this, figure out how we want to do it. It goes through engineering. We make proper drawings. We start 3D printing stuff like this. So we do all our fit and function testing, ergonomics, how the gun's going to feel in your hand, to get an idea aesthetically how the gun's going to look, as well as how it's going to feel, right? After this, we start cutting things out of aluminum. We make aluminum things, like this guy. This is our first aluminum prototype rifle. Very first one that we made.
And then that basically turns into this?
Yep, and then that goes to this. We spent a lot of time trying to design the right packaging to ship these rifles out in. Number one, we don't want them damaged. We're trying to keep the packaging small so the consumer doesn't have to pay a lot of money. So this is the box that you'll get your rifle in. It's gonna come disassembled like this. You're just gonna have to put in one pin, put the rifle together. Your mag will be in here, and this is how the rifle's gonna be shipped. And currently with COVID, there's like a worldwide paper shortage. So even getting boxes has been incredibly difficult, but we're sourcing them from local companies. We're doing our best to get everything as local as possible. Some of the first rifles may not even go out in this box just because we can't get them.
Talk a little bit about the furniture, like what this is all coming with in regards
so,
to...
name brand pretty much everything. Magpul stocks and grips, Trigger Tech triggers, and everything else that can be made is made by us. So this is the production charging handle, but we have in the works for multiple different types of charging handles. So if you really want the classic MP5 style, the lollipop with the ball in it, those are coming. This is what's coming with the gun, but you'll be able to change these not only out for shape and size, but color. So if you want to match red or blue to your other components on the rifle, we're gonna have those come out at a later time. This is the adjustable trigger, which we will be shipping with all the rifles. So it's 2.5 pounds to 5 pounds adjustable.
So right out of the gate, you're getting a $350 trigger-ish in the gun, and like that's not typical of any production model gun you're getting off the shelf.
Usually they're going to cut costs where they can, and it's in some of the components that they're purchasing, right? They're going to try to cut their costs there. We decided to come out with the best possible gun we could for the best price we could. It's basically what we're saying. When you buy this gun, if you want to compete, take it out of the box and compete with it.
Right.
There's no need for upgrades or switching out any parts to make it a better shooter. We're always refining it, always trying to make it better. And that's the goal with even this rifle, is once it comes out, if we get customer feedback that there's an issue, we're gonna action it. We're gonna try to make it better, because at the end of the day, it's their thing. It's not my thing, it's their thing. They bought it, and it needs to be as good as possible for the money they're spending. There's definitely more coming, right? Definitely. I mean, this rifle platform it's slick. It's a nice looking rifle. It's very ergonomic. To say it's not gonna come out in other calibers would be crazy.
I'm looking forward to see what else comes from Crusader Arms, so
awesome.
Let's get doing some more shooting.
Let's burn them up.
If you like what you see, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss out. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and as always, leave us a comment. We want to hear what you have to say. If you want to support us, you can go to coatofarmstv.com for all of our latest apparel.